Hey guys, welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So we're going to explore this section a bit, so let's do that, see if there's anything over there.
Lead.
Okay. Handprints and footprints indicate that the locals have turned the sacred unguent tank into something like a ritual font. Okay. I recognize the pattern of the chant. They are imitating a reactor shutdown vigil. Something simply ordered the machine, the spirit of this machine, to die. Okay. That's bizarre. The bay was breached from the inside. Traces of scaling suggest the use of a melter charge. Now everything is clear. A battle was fought here, and during preparations for it, Amarnat declared the observatorium off limits, even to fellow servants of the Omnissiah, the explorators. It was an internal conflict, and he expected his erstwhile tech comrades to become his enemies. Okay. Right. So what do we have to do now? Get to the observatorium, meet the pref spirit. So I guess we're going back over here then. Let's save it. Let's hit this button. The ancient servitor seems dead. The infrequent twitching of his head is the only glimmer of life left in him. The numerous augmetic regalia embedded in the body of this servant of the Omnissiah speak to his high standing and devoutness. Can you activate him, Pascal? The tech priest carefully touches the servitor's withered body with his mechadendrites. Data spikes slide out of them and sink into the servitor's augmetics. Pascal's vox sounds thoughtful and slightly puzzled. I identify this unit as Magos Logis Hectodon 11. The unit received 7 commendations for advances in astrography recorded in the Fleet Archive. This unit, he liked watching the stars. He called them beacons left for us by the Omnissiah. The servitor gives a jolt, raises his head and fixes his augmented eyes on you. The large black circles of his visors are cloudy and covered in scratches. A pained moan comes from the speaker on the servant's throat. Unit status operational. Unit identifies itself as no data available. Error, malfunction. The Omnissiah knows. What? Pascal sighs heavily. He is suffering. This unit is long past its operational life expectancy, but the particular ancient and sacred true flesh it was awarded for its outstanding service to the fleet is still prolonging its years. Do you know him? This statement is false. My archive has no record of any encounters with this unit or any archive requests concerning it. I just know, and I grieve. Pascal touches the servitor's pale skin covered in inky cacography. The tribespeople inscribed his body with the blessed manual of maintenance and repair. Hypothesis: ignorant as to the true purpose of this litany, they perceived it as a health replenishing magic spell. Tech Brother Hectodon 11. This unit identifies itself as Pascal Hanuman. Can you hear me? Do you know me? Can you tell me what happened here? A jumble of sounds comes from the servitor speaker, as if a very old man who has outlived his faculty of speech is trying to utter once familiar words now strange to him. Then suddenly a spark lights up his visors and he utters with great strength. Executing function. All reserve capacities engaged in executing primary function. We would like to go up to the observatorium. Request denied. The rattle in the servitor's voice could be easily mistaken for indignation. Access to the lift system denied. Service is in Obscuratoria mode. An Obscuratoria is a complete ban on holy ministry within the compound. Any and all sacred maintenance procedures are deferred until after the ban is lifted. An Obscuratoria is declared when a temple has been compromised by suspected corruption before a battle or in the event of a major critical incident. Hypothesis: Obscuratoria was declared ahead of a battle in order to hinder a hostile infiltration of the observatorium. Knowing the reason enables this unit to deactivate the containment protocol. Pascal, unblock the lift. Pascal enunciates solemnly, accompanying each word with binary commands. As its first pronouncement, the unit declares that no security threat to the High Observatorium is present. As its second pronouncement, this unit orders the operation of the lift system to be restored. As its third pronouncement, this unit confirms its authorization to issue that order. The servitor's jerky movement is accompanied by a shower of sparks from his mouth. His optical visor makes a series of clicks. Unit's hierarchical rank not recognized. Authorization to give orders unconfirmed. Awaiting confirmation. This unit is not part of the Hermetico chain of command. It must introduce itself to the ship system for confirmation of its authority. Okay, so let's save it there. I guess we need to talk to the tech shaman then to get some kind of authority. What do you seek from who has Pref's ear ghost? Look at the tech shaman. The aging barbarian's skin is covered in tattoos of mechanisms, as if the ink drawings of cogs could pass for actual augmetics. Wires and scraps of flex tubing are braided into his hair, as well as shards from a broken data slate screen. Cogitator circuit boards hang on threads from his large ceremonial drum. I am registering category 6, 7, and 8 heresies in this tribesman's vestments. Only enlightened tech priests are authorized to dismantle and interact with the bodies of sacred machines, and painting the skin in crude imitation of true flesh is profane mockery. It is how I venerate the iron spirits who have done their duty and passed into nothingness ghost. I do this in the hope that I might gain some of their wisdom. This statement is false. I am not registering any veneration. Who is Pref? Our deck's great patron spirit who protects it and watches over everything that happens on it. Pref used to be a kind father to us until wicked people tricked him. That was when he disowned the mortals who lived here. He wiped the names of everyone who used to be under his patronage from his memory and no longer recognized their faces. Since then, Pref has been a harsh and cruel-hearted master who is deaf to our prayers. Pref. Hypothesis: the barbarian is using this debased designation to refer to a prefect enumerator, an especially sacred cogitator served by all of the deck's junior machine spirits. I am registering a category 6 heresy. The tribesman claims to communicate with it. Only enlightened adepts of the Omnissiah are permitted to interact directly with a prefect enumerator. Hypothesis: the part of the legend that speaks of disowning the mortals and forgetting their faces describes the removal of access rights from the authorized units. For reasons unknown, the prefect enumerator was ordered to cease accepting commands from outsiders. How do you talk to Pref? The tech shaman raises the roaring mechanical sensor and inhales a lungful of its aromatic exhaust fumes. The tribesman's eyes grow dim and he puts his hands on his drum. His fingers strike the taut synthetic leather with remarkable deftness and rhythm, like this. Pascal frowns and says darkly, I am registering a categ. Blast it, layman. This blessed smoke is meant for the sacred machines, not your lungs. Then the tech priest falls silent and listens carefully before uttering in astonishment. This primitive melody is a language, a variety of rhythm-based tech vernacular in which meaning is created by the lengths of pauses between the signals. Sounds like some kind of Morse code then. We have come to plead for Pref's benevolence. Every word you say is accompanied by a series of quick drum taps in a complex, choppy rhythm. Crackling comes in response from a vox hidden somewhere inside the wall. Tech Shaman tilts his head and says, "The Great Pref would like to know who is speaking to him." The Prefect Enumerator is running an identification procedure. Given existing data on the machine spirit's refusal to follow orders within the chain of command, I predict that standard identifiers will be assigned a low priority. If the machine spirit speaks a tech priest language, do we even need the old man? Introduce yourself formally, Pascal. Tell him you are the Messiah of discontinuing. Volunteering too much information to an unknown entity is not a good idea. Lie and say that you are an authorized inspector from the fleet's conclave. Introduce yourself formally, Pascal. This unit is Magos Explorator Pascal Hanuman, a member of the Cognizance Fleet, presenting doctrinal compliance and algorithmic obedience certificates. The indicator on Pascal's neural cogitator glows. New data lights up Pascal's new spheric aura that no layperson can see. The Tech Shaman translates Pascal's words into quick taps on his drum, its dangling circuit boards jingling dramatically. He inhales the aromatic exhaust of his roaring sensor, listens carefully, and says in a strained voice, "Pref asks why he should treat your words with respect and not scorn them." Pascal's voice becomes dry and bristly. The machine spirit is requesting to know this unit's access privileges. It refuses to submit to a stranger's will without a compelling reason. Machine spirits can be capricious and undisciplined. After years without sanctified maintenance, this one may have forgotten all about obedience. Normally in cases like these, a tech priest would bring the wayward spirit to its senses with a shock from an electric prod or a blow from a wrench, accompanied by the litany of uninterruptible obedience. I think a show of force is in order to show this machine its place. Are you sure this is not a compelling reason? You are an eminent and venerable Magos. It cannot ask for more than that. It wouldn't dare. Pascal nods and enunciates. By my power as a Magos Explorator, decorated with 4 1-grade promotions and an entitlement to Category 3 Sacred Augmentation, as well as likely the only active ordained tech priest of the Adeptus Mechanicus aboard the void ship, I appoint myself this vessel's supreme hierarch. The Tech Shaman translates Pascal's words into a sharp staccato of drum taps, then nods with an important air and says, "Pref inquires why you are seeking his friendship." Hypothesis: the Prefect Enumerator's request is to be interpreted as, "What is the purpose of your visit?" Tell it something profound and spiritual and invoke the Omnissiah. Tell it you are on a mission from Amarnat. Perhaps the spirit knows who he is. You know the answer yourself, Pascal. I have come to discontinue the cycle. The Tech Shaman listens to the crackling coming from the hidden vox in response and shakes his head contritely. The Great Pref does not recognize your name or your face. He will not grant you his friendship and bids you to leave. Pascal's vox hisses angrily and he shakes his head. The Prefect Enumerator's reaction is anomalous. Such disregard for regalia can only be explained by a protocol signifying an extreme degree of danger to the vessel. Okay. Let's try this again. If the machine spirit speaks a tech priest language, do we even need the old man? This statement is false. The idiom is a distinctive vernacular most likely only used by this ship's crew. It is intuitively familiar to this unit, but not intelligible. Tell him you are the Messiah of discontinuing. This is unit This unit is Magos, Pascal Hanuman. He hesitates a little, then adds, some identify him as the Messiah of discontinuing, although that statement is false. Okay, so we get the same line. Pref asks why you should treat your words with respect and not scorn them. Access privileges, it's the same as before. Point at the surrounding ruins. Are you sure this is not a compelling reason? The hypothesis is of merit. This unit is conducting a rescue mission in which the safety of an Archmagos ranked unit is at stake. Requesting emergency authorization. Pref inquires why you are seeking his friendship. Tell it you are on a mission from Amarnat. Perhaps the spirit knows who he is. I am following the orders of my mentor Archmagos Amarnat and correcting a mistake made decades ago. You speak, but the Great Pref isn't convinced that he should listen. He chooses to remain deaf and indifferent. Okay. So we have to go again, I guess. Let's make that same statement. Show of force. This statement is true. Pascal extends a hand toward the machine, which is enveloped in a shower of sparks. The crack in the tech priest's armored respirator shines a bright green. There is steel in his voice. My power is my authorization. Acknowledge it or you will regret it, wayward spirit. Pref acknowledges your power, Ghost. He does. He asks why you seek his friendship. Hypothesis is what is the tell it something profound and spiritual and invoke the Omnissiah. I am fulfilling my sacred duty of service to the machine god. I intend to protect this blessed ship and the servants of the Omnissiah aboard it. Okay, so he wants us to leave. The prefect enumerators, yeah, okay. Authorize, yeah, let's try this one then. This unit is a tech nuncio sent by the Supreme Conclave of the Cognizance Fleet to investigate. Presenting code regalia. The indicator on Pascal's neural cogitator glows. His nospheric aura lights up with new data as fake credentials are generated in the deep recesses of the cogitator circuitry. Why? Pref asks why he should treat your words with respect and not scorn them. Okay. The machine spirit is requesting. Yes, we read that already. Yeah, okay. Let's just keep going. Okay, so I guess that's not what we have to do. That's fine. These barbarians are pillaging this ship's supplies. I'm registering a category 9 heresy, okay? Do you know him? Leave, okay. I guess we have to talk to the chief then about the lift. Yeah, we've seen that before, okay. Anywhere else we haven't looked? Meet the press spirit. The lift up to the observatorium is blocked. To reach the ship's bridge, the visitors will have to find a way to remove the lockdown and make the system obey Pascal's orders. Okay.
Activating motive force reserves.
Okay. Nothing there. Okay, there's a door here. Finally getting somewhere. Okay, filter gas mask. 30 strength. If the wearer has not moved the previous turn, their range attacks with heavy weapons deal 50% damage until the end of the turn. Okay. Nope. Nothing here. Okay.
Litany of reconnaissance recited.
This goes back to the void ship. Alright.
If such is the Emperor's will.
Okay. Well, I'll probably cut out this part of me figuring out how to get to the lift, so I'll just keep figuring it out, and once I find out what needs to be done, I'll come back and we'll take the lift up then. See you in a bit. Okay, we're back. Let's progress the story. So it was after a bit of messing around, finally got the correct combination. So we tell him we are the Messiah of discontinuing. And I think a show of force is in order. And you know the answer yourself, Pascal. I've come to discontinue the cycle. The tech shaman listens to the crackling that comes in response and opens his mouth to say something, only for Pascal to interrupt him in a tone of authority. The prefect enumerator has stated that he knows my name and is familiar with my power. He respects my mission and grants me a place within the crew's chain of command. Your work here is done, Binaric Interpreter. Pascal looks at you and adds with slight purpose. I remember this language now, or more precisely, this unit used to know it. And now it remembers having known it. The tech priest turns toward the wall with the sacred mechanism concealed inside it and says doubtfully, I am registering an anomaly. The data exchange deviated from the standard registration procedure. The prefect enumerator was commanded to limit the number of people who have clearance to issue orders, including even high-ranking tech priests from other ships. It was tasked with defending the observatorium as if it were under siege. Our mutual introduction rather resembled an exchange of secret passwords. Okay. Spasm in the servitor's neck makes its chin twitch. Pascal, show him the prefect enumerator's authorization that confirms your right to give orders. Hypothesis: as soon as the lift going up to the observatorium is operational, we will be attacked. The deck guard will activate and attack us, requesting confirmation of readiness for combat. Do it. Raising his voice, the tech priest solemnly repeats his command to the servitor. An intricate, monumental, and piercing binaric aria pours from Pascal's vox. Encoded in its signals is her Newman's authority to give orders on this ship. The servitor stares at Pascal with visored eyes and bows his head awkwardly. Regalia identified. I greet the venerable Magos and will execute the order presently. Lift system activated. The servitor's last words are drowned out by a harrowing screech that rolls across the deck as several shrill voices wail. Security perimeter breach for the Omnissiah. Okay. Now where do we want to put everyone? Stooge can go there. Elliot can go there. I guess Jay can go here. Cassia, Abelard. Okay, so the tech shamans aren't doing anything. Skitari devotee. Okay. And there's a Skitari alpha. The tribesman and the chief aren't attacking. We might be able to hit this guy from down here. Yeah, I think this is good. Let's do voice of command. And give Pascal an extra turn. Let's shoot.
My vow is to serve.
Okay, nice. Can't really do tactical knowledge, so we'll do joint analysis. And we'll do perfect spot. Okay. Who do I want to give an extra turn to now? I guess we can try and give it to Elliot. Let's see. Perfect spot. And no line of sight. Okay. Fair enough. Let's just move on. Can't do much about that. How about we drag some of them down if possible? Can we? Nope, apparently not. Okay. Two instances of damage, 72 warp, 32 direct. Okay.
Out of my way!
Okay, we'll drag that guy down. Voice of command on Stooge. Let's put Rhea over here like this. And let's see, let's move Stooge. Okay. That's a better position. Let's do
Am I getting paid for this?
overwhelming stratagem first, and we'll give Stooge take aim in another turn.
I can do that with the right incentive.
Okay. Perfect spot. This guy will die. Should get a free shot. Nice. And let's hit the shooter at the back. And I think that's it for Jay anyway. Elliot. Where do we want to put Elliot? I guess we can put her here. Perfect
I understand your intent.
And Wandering Portent is fine.
Ancestors, guide me!
Got a critical hit.
This
Let's
tedium is
take it
beneath.
out. Nope, we can't. Okay. In that case, let's put up prey. And then claim the bounty. Okay. Put a trap there. I don't think we can do tactical knowledge still. No, not really. So we'll do joint analysis and then I think that's it. Don't really have line of sight to anyone else. Do in my sights. Put prey up first. And then we can do in my sights.
I am not your zeal, pet monkey.
As to the weak.
Okay. Nasty. Okay, the alpha's doing something. Not sure what that was, but that's fine. Two. Where do we want to go? Okay, that... that's not good. Let's see. We can shoot this guy, so let's do that. We can also shoot the alpha, so let's do that. Elusive Shadow. Oh, damn it. I was meant to use that. Transcend your potential. Alright, never mind then. That was a mistake. So, endure defensive stance. And then we'll charge all the way out if we can. Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
Sworn enemy
It will be
and
done.
charge in.
Target well struck. Grey hair, sure hair.
Let's do Daring Breach.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
Come on. Really? What? Ah, jeez. Come on. Far out. Dodge? Really?
Victory is imminent.
About freaking time.
Momentum.
Okay, so I guess we have to charge out now.
Ability analysis successful.
Okay. Perfect shot, I guess. Tactical knowledge. Who are we going to trail? Devotee, I guess.
Approved.
Kasich can
Emperor,
move up here.
give me strength.
Let's try and drag as many of them together as we can.
Serve the ruinous powers!
Never mind. Getting two of them, that's fine. Yeah, that's it. That's fine. Jay can move reasonably
Watch my
far.
back.
Okay. Elliot.
I hold
Stooge.
all the cards.
Okay. Stooge can come up here. I'm hoping this should be a relatively easy win from here on out. I don't think I want to use any AP on openings because we don't really need them. Ooh, can't hit that guy. Alright, we don't have line of sight on that guy. That's a bit unfortunate. We don't get a free shot, okay. Joint analysis. Put down a trap and then we'll put prey on this guy.
Omnissiah knows all, comprehends all.
And prey on the other guy. No, can't. Guess we don't have line of sight to that guy. Okay, we have no line of sight. Unfortunate, so we'll have to pass the turn. Also no line of sight? What?
As the tactical imperative dictates.
Okay. Prey, cull the bold, and let's see if we can claim the bounty then.
Request denied.
Target is 2. What? Okay. I think I need to change the weapons around so that we have the ranged weapon in the first slot, I guess. I'm guessing that's why that's not working. Let's see. Dismantling attack.
Hallowed sacrament.
Okay.
This battlefield air is good for my lungs.
Let's do this. Move
You've got a
on
problem,
Abelard.
I've got a price.
Let's move straight in. Extra turn. Maybe I should have saved the charge. Oh well.
At your back
Defensive
and call.
stance. Okay. Elliot does not have line of sight. That's fine. I do have line of sight now, and this should be an easy win. Okay. Repel the onslaught of the ship's guardians. Yes, okay. We did that.
Marching off.
Okay. Skitari shooter. Alright, so we can go up from there. Is there anything else? Oh, okay, so let's go here. Save it and head up, I guess. See what the quest log has to say about this. Nothing, so we just go up. Okay, some loot there, some loot there. So let's see what happens here.
I walk the path less traveled.
The face of the tech priest standing opposite is hidden behind a brass mask. Rather than being one piece, it is assembled from the fragments of many old medics. You have met this man before. He is called Brass Whisper, a member of Lord Inquisitor Calcazar's retinue. There you are, Tech Brother. Brass Whisper's voice is raspy and punctuated. His gaze is turned toward Pascal. The salutatory procedure will be performed and the identification codes verified after the priority request has been executed. Tell me where the blessed Amarnat is. Pascal's voice clangs like steel. A cracked chuckle comes from behind the mask. You still don't understand. You are from Calcazar's retinue. Does he have anything to do with this? Marginally. He used to play a major part in this story, not anymore. This meeting is held upon my initiative. Brass Whisper surveys the Inquisition's soldiers and warriors of the Omnissiah standing motionless. That said, I am still under the protection of the Lord Inquisitor and the Cognizance Fleet. Keep that in mind. Locals spoke of a ghost without a face. Did they mean you? Response: affirmative. In order to move the Hermetico out of the procession of the damned, we had to disturb the pitiful locals. What is going on here? We intend to discontinue the cycle. Is that not obvious? There is a note of sarcasm in Brass Whisper's croaking voice. Speak, or I will rip your memories out along with the ferrum sanctum implanted in your brain. Pascal enunciates each word as he activates his drilling mechadendrite. What do you know of Amarnat? The hollow-pained laughter from behind the brass mask is amplified by its echo. I know everything. We are looking for Archmagos Amarnat and we want answers. Looking? How absurd. You lack the very concept of what you are looking for, layman. You expect to find a man, and Amarnat was never one. He was never one person. The Amarnat Collective was created by a group of tech priests who renounced individuality and merged into a hive mind, a mind that reasoned algorithmically but was guided by the principles and convictions of a righteous spirit, a super ego that brought them one step closer to the Omnissiah. You are looking for Archmagos Amarnat, you say? Something clicks inside Brass Whisper's mask and his voice becomes louder and harsher, as if coated in liquid metal. He has been by your side all this time. This statement is false. The hypothesis is without merit. Brass Whisper interrupts him with a forceful shout. As the cycle coils in multitudinous loops, it intersects with itself and locks us in a cage of data vows. Pascal shudders as if struck by the motive force itself. Mechadendrites rise like steel wings behind his shoulders. The voice from his vox speaker takes on an otherworldly profundity and power, and therefore the cycle must be discontinued. Pascal, what is going on? Pascal turns his gaze to you, his pupils burning bright with celestial fire. A single word escapes from his vox. Restoration. Cognitive reconstruction mechanism activated. The memory is awakening inside you. Brass Whisper is shaken by a violent coughing fit, and then he shouts ferociously, "Remember!" The Amarnat Collective was designed to be a philosopher and a researcher. The concepts he produced were so powerful that they almost destroyed the Cognizance Fleet. But then he faced an unsolvable dilemma, and that was when Amarnat came apart. The 7 constituent servants of the Omnissiah hid their own memories from themselves behind false personas and were sent off to various parts of the Koronus Expanse. They went into hiding. Each had to live in solitude for many decades, accumulating observations and eventually bringing that experience to a reunited Amarnat who would tackle the dilemma once more. That would be the restoration. Sorrow echoes in Pascal's inhuman voice. 211 Terran years. It was such a long time ago. So the tech priests of the name Hanuman are all parts of Amarnat? Yes, 6 mental keynotes. Demence was paranoia. After the separation, he sensed that his memory was a web of lies, and that feeling drove him to the depths of madness. Tarsus was faith, fiery and unyielding. Axiomantha was logic, unclouded by emotion or value judgments. Abel was her good twin, imagination. He did not know his past just like the others, but he felt more than they did. He was always different. That was why he was the first to get close to the restoration, one of the first. Pascal was judgment, the moderator of the cognitive process, the one who makes the decision. Pascal's voice rises to the vault of the observatorium and rumbles beneath it like thunder. And Nihel. The brass mask starts to unlock with a hissing sound. The augmetics bend, revealing a face disfigured by burns, a woman's face with a pair of darkly radiant, vibrant eyes. Skepticism, the one who doubts. Did Amarnat believe he could form again? The plan sounds risky. The restoration was statistically calculated on a level beyond your comprehension, layman. Billions of variables were taken into account. Countless scenarios went into the development of optimal strategies. Two Amarnat units meeting each other was an inevitable certainty. The matching identifiers were to be a spark that would start a chain reaction, and that was precisely what happened. A ringing brittleness enters Pascal's voice. We were motivated by the perfect stimuli: curiosity, anxiety, shame. Each part of us was hostage to the legend of a betrayal it had committed, for suffering drove us to search and strive. What was the dilemma Amarnat faced? Its name was Eschatos, the secret to the right of putting a machine spirit to death, a technology embodying the discontinuing of the cycle. Was it meant to exist, or was it the acme of profanity against the Omniscient and his creation? Pascal continues Brass Whisper's speech in a lofty tone. Eschatos was the perfect weapon against creations of the Omniscient that had been corrupted by enemies, but also against his faithful servants. Its spread could bring victory to the Imperium, or it could destroy it. Eschatos could spell the end of the Adeptus Mechanicus, for it was the perfect answer to the power wielded by the cult of the machine god. Was it a blessing or a curse? There was no answer. Protraction was unacceptable, and so a way was found to shelve the issue. Nihel gives a raspy sigh, and I found the answer. Eschatos should not exist. We will correct our mistake. What is Eschatos? The power of machine negation, a noospheric signal that interrupts any and all life created by the Omniscient. A green flash runs along the crack in Pascal's respirator. The power that I used to tap into unconsciously. Shared knowledge lay dormant inside the mind of every Amarnat unit. You tried to decrypt the other Hanuman's neurocogitators, did you not? But to no avail. It was you who created the cipher that locked Amarnat's memory. You are the maimed hunter. You tried to kill the other Hanumans. This statement is true. I was admitted into the Lord Inquisitor's retinue and authorized to study a dangerous artifact taken from Amarnat. It tried to exert some kind of influence on me, but my data vows protected me. Nihel Hanuman touches her scarred face. A short circuit awakened some of my memories. I conducted an analysis and solved the Eschatos dilemma and began to act. My agents all but terminated Tarsus, but he hid under an armor of martyrdom and insanity. An attempt to intercept Pascal on Alta Templum Calixus X-17 failed because Abel had summoned him. The assassins caught up to him at the Reichad Menorah starport, but he was able to escape again. Another group went after Abel, only to perish at an Electro-Priest monastery. You dispatched Dements, who had lapsed into heresy. Axiomantha simply disappeared until she suddenly turned up dead on Euphrates II. I have no idea how she managed to hide from me. Idiot. Calcazar was harboring Axiomantha the whole time. She was working for him. I'm registering a lie. The Lord Inquisitor shared my conviction that Amarnat's legacy had to be destroyed. He was summoned to the Koronus Expanse by loyal members of the Cognizance fleet in order to depose Amarnat. It was his troops that attacked the Hermetico in an attempt to obliterate our schismatic creation. So that was how you got on board the ship and into the observatorium, Nihil. Our traitorous tech comrades gave Kalkazar the access codes to the bridge, and he gave them to you. Acute conviction vibrates in Pascal's voice as he makes these quiet statements of fact. He is not asking questions, he is passing judgment. You were deceived, sister. Kalkazar appropriated our work. He continued our research, no longer bound by the omnicized canon, and you enabled him by destroying those who could return and reclaim his bloody prize. Lies, something you have not heard before, creeps into Nihil's voice, a note of fear. You betrayed your brothers and sisters. Such an act is unforgivable. With a mixture of pain and pride, Brass Whisper replies, we all chose the path of martyrdom. I merely helped them reach the supreme goal at the end of that path. Nihil's voice is imperiously metallic. Tech brother, I offer you the chance to yield peacefully to a fate that will please the Omniscient. Do not resist your termination, and you will pass into oblivion as my friend and fellow believer. Pascal's reply sweeps Nihil's words away like a gust of wind. His optical visor turns a blinding blue. No, Tech sister, refraining from resistance was never our way. I am an explorator, a reconnaisseur of knowledge. I have brought fire to 100 worlds. I have gleaned 1,000 secrets in the darkness. I am an agent of unbridled will. I will not yield to oblivion, for oblivion itself fears me. Smile at Nihil. This is my companion Pascal Hanuman, and you made a mistake in meddling with him. You wanted me to awaken, Tech sister. Here I am, holding you to account. Nihil's disfigured lips twist and seeds of dismay sprout in her voice. I lured you here for a reason, Pascal. I wanted you to see what our followers had become. This is what deviation from dogma ends in. Breach of canon begets ignorance. Ignorance begets blasphemy. All we did was breed corruption, schism. Remember when they came to depose us? We resisted them and destroyed this ship, sacred relic, an Arch Mechanicus older than our priesthood itself. Here in this hall, we released Eschatos and allowed an unconscionable heresy to happen. Do you remember? Do you remember how you got your cleft jaw? Pascal looks thoughtful as he touches the crack running across his armored respirator. A green spark runs through the deep gash left by an enemy's weapon in the metal. And it sufficed for you to merely show up in the expanse again for the schism to rear its head once more. The Cognizance fleet is already being torn apart by a fratricidal war. Is this what we wanted? Let us finish this. Let us discontinue the cycle. Now the words of the one who once called herself Brass Whisper sound more like a plea. The voice that answers her is no human voice. It could belong to a giant void ship or forge world if they could speak. You violated procedure, skepticism. You usurp the function of another. You challenge only. You do not make decisions. I do. You must not fight. We are surrounded by enemies. Enough blood has been shed. Nihil rasps a sigh and gives Pascal a look of despair. The decision is his to make, and I have made it. Pascal extends a mechadendrite toward Nihil and pronounces, Tech sister, my judgment of you and your actions is one of condemnation. Tampering with procedure is unacceptable. Sabotaging the experiment is apostasy. For your betrayal, your vital functions will be terminated in the name of the Messiah of discontinuing. The greenish pulse of energy is born inside Pascal's augmetics and darts toward Nihil like a furious lightning bolt. The green energy entangles Nahel like a net, burning her true flesh, draining the life force from her augmetics and mechanical components, but she focuses her will and strikes back at Pascal with a pulse of her own. The rattling voice, no longer human, rages and roars like a forest fire. I refuse to recognize you as the Messiah. I do not believe in you. That is your problem. You have always been too skeptical.
Run, fools! Or fall!
For the Emperor!
Okay, so Cassie won't be able to make it around there. Okay, that's fine. Pascal Abelard. There's almost no cover, so that's going to be awkward. We'll have to try and run into cover when we can. Jay can go here, Stooge can stay there, and 15 enemies. Vanguard, so to Inquisitor Sharpshooter, Inquisition Sharpshooter, Brass Whisper Disciple, Executor. Okay. 163, Nahel is the highest hit point enemy. That should be fine. I think this is doable. We shouldn't need cover too much. So let's start the fight. Do we want Elliot to go first? Do we want Elliot to go first or Pascal? I think we want Elliot to go first. Okay. Perfect spot. Let's go with... Nope, can't. Okay. That's fine. Let's shoot. Vanguard Servitor. Let's take these two out. Again. Nope, we didn't take out the sharpshooter behind. That's fine. Got a free shot there. Okay. Alright, drop rear down here. Overwhelming stratagem. Okay, Stooge. Take aim and then let's get the party started. Now, Brass Whisper, okay. 90 armor, 25 dodge, that's fine. Easy enough. Eschatos' bonds. Brass Whisper awakens Eschatos, empowering both herself and Pascal for 1 round. Machine Spirit Absolute. Brass Whisper calls out to the Machine Spirit. Her allies are blessed with its powers and our enemies are cursed for 2 rounds. Brass Whisper uses the power of Eschatos to jam all augmentations and mechanisms in the bodies of her enemies. Targets must pass a willpower resistance test or become stunned. Does not affect Pascal. Immune to fatigue, disturbed, perplexed, and staggered. Shock damage is increased by 25. Reject the flesh. 4 deflection, 40 armor, but minus 20 to dodge. At the start of each round, a special 7x7 zone is created around a random enemy that explodes at the end of the round. Anyone in the zone at the time of the explosion will suffer the Wrath of Eschatos effect for 2 rounds. If the creature is already affected by this effect, Wrath of Eschatos is removed instead. Okay. Not sure what that means, but... no idea. Doesn't really tell us. Okay. Let's go perfect spot then. Alright. Let's put up an opening on Brass Whisper then. Take the first shot at Brass Whisper. Of course we miss. Why wouldn't we miss? Okay. Let's take out the Sharpshooter. Let's go with J. And J will give Stu finest hour. And J can do this. Decent damage. Let's go again.
Whoa! I want a medal for
Decent
that
damage
one.
yet again.
Don't get too cocky.
Okay. Alright. That was a kind of a one-shot KO. I don't know what the hell's going on now, though. Overwhelmed effect, 591. Okay. Pick out this sharpshooter. We get a free shot. Yep. Okay. Sharpshooter here. Brass Whisper Disciple. I want to take out all the sharpshooters. Servitor. Executioner. No line of sight to these guys. Brass Whisper, I guess. Keep attacking Brass Whisper. Uh, 27 melting. Each stack reduces deflection by -1 and armor by 10%. Okay. Dismantling attack. Okay. Are we able to take her out? Jay can step forward.
Jai Haydari. Remember the name. Never cross a Kazbalikan. Jai Haydari. Remember the name. I can do that.
Okay. Right, well then, now. Pascal? No. Let's try and draw as many of them in as we can. Let's do this. Do it like this then. Okay.
I'm not
Pascal.
accustomed to being ordered around. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Okay. Tactical knowledge. Brass Whisper.
Combat is an equation.
Okay.
Your life is a negligible variable.
Joint analysis. And let's put Prey up on Brass Whisper as well as Trail. Okay, we can't do this. We can.
If I
Let's
may,
do it then.
die with grace, at least.
Another tactical knowledge. Machine Spirit Communion. And Hell is next. Okay, that's going to be interesting. Let's see how this goes. Parry and dodge. Perfect.
This way!
Okay.
Ha! Heretics be damned!
Alright. Well then. Brass Whisper should be dead then. Finally. Let's do it like that. And let's keep going with joint analysis. We need a reload. And Eliminator, Servitor, Brass Whisper, Disciple. Let's take out the Executioner. Or not. Okay. Enforcer. Okay. Hit that Servitor then. Okay, Melter.
Follow my lead.
Parry and dodge. Very nice. Dodge. That's good. That's exactly what I wanted. Elliot can... I guess Elliot can actually stay here. She has perfect spot already, so we don't need to do that. We need to hit this Servitor here. Good. Get the kill. Now we can... What do we want? Yeah, let's try and eliminate this guy.
Ancestors guide me.
Okay.
Fortune favors the swift.
Now we can do claim the bounty, I guess. Yeah, let's
I
put prey on him
understand your
and
intent.
claim the bounty. Nice. Okay. Now we can do another tactical knowledge. Let's drop the trap here. Prey. No, we don't want prey on that guy. Let's put prey on that Eliminator Servitor, and then we'll put Trail on the Disciple in the back there. Let's see. Does she have... She does have line of sight to the Execution, so let's do that.
It will be done.
Okay, defensive stance. Yeah, let's do... Oh, let's save Sworn Enemy. Let's kill this guy first. And...
I will
charge
do
up
my
here. Daring Breach.
Victory is imminent.
Oh, 2, really? Okay. Now Pascal has... Let's do tactical knowledge over here. Trap up there. And let's do joint analysis again, so that'll be fine. Now we charge in to here. Okay. Brass Whisper Disciple. 154.
It
Nice.
will be done.
Perfect.
Indeed.
Ooh, big hit. 209.
It will be done.
Okay. Don't need Elliot's in my sights anymore.
At your beck and call.
Nice. Okay. Of course he misses. Why would he not miss?
My vows
Hold the
to
ball.
serve.
Ah, forgot to change the position of the weapons. Alright, never mind. That was dumb. Okay. Stooge. Just do your thing.
Don't get too cocky.
Yeah, that's fine. 666 damage. Not let you in, I'll destroy the ship. Okay. Stop. Thou shalt not create a schism. Thou shalt not suffer a heretic. Like the hand of a deity, the mechadendrite extends over Nihil, lying convulsing on the deck. I did not want this tech system, but the procedure must be completed. Farewell. His claw carefully removes a mangled, soot-covered neural cogitator from Brass Whisper's head. The tech priest shudders and peace descends over her disfigured face. The ghost-like figure in red approaches you cautiously. Enormous sad eyes look at you from his ascetic face. Doubt has been shunned. The dominant of prejudice has ended. Abel's voice resonates with the same otherworldly profundity that has filled Pascal's vox. This statement is true. Only imagination and judgment are left. Our directive is to conceptualize the future we desire and bring it into being. Take a look at Pascal. The tech priest looks the same as before, yet different. His morbid aura of martyrdom has given way to a calm and powerful halo of purposefulness. His mechadendrites move with the grace of an inscrutable dance. The scars left by loss and doubt have turned into dark threads on a radiant body confident in its next step. And his voice, a voice born in the nuclear font of a star and hardened in the cold of the interplanetary void. Bow to the Messiah of discontinuing. Pascal remains motionless. Only a short binaric aria comes from his vox. You feel oddly confident that your gesture of respect has been appreciated and received favorably. The voice from the vox is like the tolling of bells summoning a host of angels. I declare the period of ignorance over and will resume execution of the general algorithm. Integrity has been rehabilitated to a satisfactory degree. Memory access has been restored. I remember everything. Pascal turns to you and gives you a long look brimming with quiet elation. May the shattered mirror reassembled reflect light wholly anew. Are you Amarnat? This statement is true. Pascal's stock phrase sounds more complex and more human than before. I carry within me his memory and his logical foundation. I'm us. I'm Amarnat. Abel points to Pascal's mechadendrites and says softly, they have always remembered, they have always preserved. Thank you for the path we have walked. As Pascal bows, his thin shoulders seem to take an eternity to descend from the heights that his mind has soared to. And I am sorry about what happened to Theodora. Did you know Theodora? We were allies. She entrusted me with studying a trophy she had obtained. The voice from the vox grows quiet and hoarse as though coming from a distant past. We, Amarnat, discovered the basic ways of communicating with it. We developed a weapons-grade strain of tech blight for her. It terrified me, so I developed its antidote, Eschatos, the concept for the ultimate interruption of machine life. That was why every one of our shards was located so close to you and to the Von Valansis domain. We were counting on her finding us and extending us her aid and protection. What are you, or what were you? A higher form of intelligence, a collective of computational tools freed from the limitations of individualism and the aberrations that stem from having a distinct personality. And at the same time, a collective bound by a single set of principles that are of equal importance to all. Being pure of faith in the Omnissiah and acting for the benefit of humanity. We were different. Each one of us considered the prospects of such an experiment, but I was the first to gain the resolve to attempt it. Nihel joined the project to effect control over it. She regarded the experiment as dangerously close to a blasphemous act of creation. The Conclave had ordered her to end my research, but she became convinced of the possibility of its success. Nihel reinforced our union with the prudence of Demence, a meticulous and reserved auditor, a danger seeker. I strengthened our genius with the fiery faith of the warrior Tarsus in order to banish the shadows of false ideas. Axiomantha, who teetered on the brink of becoming a Malatech, was chosen by us for her loyalty to ruthless logic and her cold scrutiny or indeed dissection of our theories. Abel, our quiet genius, the caged genius of imagination, the abstract artist of code, his talent completed the collective and made it a whole. What next? What is the general algorithm? A judgment must be passed. Should the secret of Eschatos exist or be shunned as a false path? And should I exist? That is, we, Amarnat. A soft binaric melody full of sadness and solemn resolve pours from Abel's vox. You have not heard it before. You would never have thought the binaric language could be so comprehensible to one who does not bear the mark of the Omnicide Iron Blessing. Amarnat was a union of 6 tech priests, all but a few of them are dead now. How does Amarnat still exist? Everything Amarnat was at the moment of the disconnection has now awoken in my mind. We are at the point where we stop, but the Amarnat was collective was envisioned as a dynamic structure. We need new minds. If I bid you to follow, will you come with me, tech comrade? Pascal waits for an affirmative nod and says, we will be the core. The collective can be replenished with worthy minds from among those aboard the Hermetico. Sincerity is present in their motives and faith. They are intuitively capable of comprehending the notion of discontinuing the cycle. Our collective memory can compensate for their lack of knowledge and memory of the rites. Restoration is possible. Pascal, or what used to be known as Pascal, makes a sacred gesture, and green sparks run down his mechanical arm. But the judgment must be passed first. What will the destruction of Eschatos mean for you? A shower of sparks burst from the power unit on Pascal's shoulders, burning holes in his scarlet hood. An act of self-sacrifice. I will destroy the data concerning this technology and the methods of reproducing it. I will burn it out of my neural circuits along with everything that led to its creation. Amarnat will be no more. Only a damaged and incomplete shard of him will remain. Pascal Hanuman. Only you can make the decision. What judgment are you leaning toward? Pascal casts a sorrowful glance at Nihel's body. His voice is full of wisdom and weariness. We have seen many things over the decades. We have seen true corruption, the distortion of the Omnicide's design. Kiava Gamma, Euphrates II, the planets of Xenos passed into oblivion, our own crimes. The darkness grows. There must be a fire to burn it away. The graceful dance of the mechadendrites takes on a more energetic, wilder pattern. I am leaning toward the idea that Eschatos is necessary, that Amarnat is necessary, that the cycle must be discontinued. What are your thoughts on this dilemma? Abel lowers his eyes and is silent for a while, then says, we have made great sacrifices. This statement is enigmatic. I request an expanded interpretation. Pascal looks demandingly into Abel's eyes, but he turns away. It is obvious if we reject Amarnat's knowledge now, all the sacrifice will have been in vain. Perhaps he means that your bold attempt at ascension has earned you the right to this power. I think Abel means that your experiment has caused too much. Refrain from interfering. Without waiting for an answer, Pascal says gravely, you have always been inscrutable, tech comrade. We need Amarnat and the power he wields. We need Eschatos. Your secret reeks of heresy. Only you can make the decision. Pascal throws back his head, and the power brimming in his voice rushes forth like a flood. The tech priest's booming voice is heard throughout the ship, echoed by every vox speaker on every deck. I peered into the vortex of time and saw dark omens. I saw that my tech comrades and I were trapped in the cycle, spiraling towards nothingness. I saw inevitable doom at the end of that trajectory and rebelled against it. In accordance with the machine god's commandment, I have crafted a tool with which to implement my design in accordance with his commandment. I have developed a plan and analyzed it. Now I will act by my power as an Archmagos. I hereby effect a restoration and revive the Amarnat collective. The servants of the Omnissiah need a Messiah who will discontinue their cycle, and I will be that Messiah. I am him. The Akgen tribesfolk, the ignorant fosterlings of the Omnissiah, slip into the observatorium hall like silent shadows. Led by an intuitive grasp of the significance of the moment, they automatically gather in a circle, heeding Pascal's summons, or perhaps at this point, someone else's. You hear echoes of other voices in Pascal's, a touch of Demence's anxiety, of Tarsus' zeal, of Axiomantus' pensiveness. They all fuse into a new voice, full of wisdom and confidence in his prerogative to lead, the voice of Archmagos Amarnat. And this voice takes hold of the lips of your companions, new brothers and sisters. The ancient tech priest turns his gaze toward you and says with gravitas, "Let the cycle be discontinued." Okay, let's save it here. That was some very interesting revelations about the Inhumans and the Amarnat stuff. Okay. Enhanced data tether mask. When the wearer uses machine spirit communion, their intelligence is increased by 5 for each affected target until the end of combat. Whenever the wearer uses overcharge on a plasma weapon, that attack ignores enemy deflection and deals additional damage. Okay. Wearer suffers less impact and energy damage. When the wearer suffers impact or energy damage, the attacking enemy suffers power damage. Whenever the wearer's ally is under the effect of joint analysis, ability hits a Wait, what? Whenever the wearer's ally is under the effect of the joint analysis ability hits a target with an exploit, the wearer gains +5 perception. Okay. That was a that was a tough read. Mars pattern, omniscient axe, Mars pattern, heavy flame. Okay. Actually, let's go to Pascal. Let's switch these around so that... Can we switch them around? Apparently we can't. Okay. That's annoying. Never mind then.
I need to find the answers.
Not too much more. There is a bit of loot here. So I'm not entirely sure what to think about the whole Messiah of discontinuing thing. It's kind of interesting, and obviously the new technology that they were... The Eschatos thing is... something that they deemed necessary at the time, but then they started having doubts about it. Presumably Nihel was the first one... Well, I think they said that she was the first one to sort of be skeptical, but then later on she ended up being converted, I guess, quote unquote, to believing that it would actually succeed and and I guess they all agreed that they would split up and then I guess take that philosophy out into the world to see what would result if they actually, I guess, lived by the principles that they'd agreed upon or something like that, I suppose. But it is quite interesting. I think I'm a bit slow on the uptake though for trying to figure out what all of that means, so should be interesting to see other people who are more into the 40k lore, especially the Mechanicus lore, see what they have to say about it. But I think it was a fairly nice twist that Pascal was searching for Amarnat, but it turns out that he and everyone with his, I guess, surname or lineage name were all part of Amarnat, and that the Amarnat was a collective of, I guess, thought leaders within the ideology of discontinuing the cycle. But quite interesting, especially what that means for what we have to talk to Kalkazar about, considering he had one of the Amarnat tech priests working for him. So now we have even more things to talk to the Lord Inquisitor about after the Siege of Euphrates. So let's head back to the Void Ship for now, and we'll probably end the episode there.
Every day, a new opportunity.
Nothing else left here. Okay. Your Lordship, we are observing a large squadron of Adeptus Mechanicus forces. Many of the ships are badly damaged. Judging by the position of the servants of the Omnicide, they are divided into two groups. I dare say they were fighting not long ago. I'm picking up a signal from one of the ships. The ship is identified as a Von Valancius Dynasty vessel. You are being hailed by a representative of the Explorer Cognizance fleet. Query: is the statement that the Messiah considered fallen has come back true? Is the statement that the cycle will be discontinued true? They wish to know if their fratricidal battle should continue. What do you think I should answer, Stu? Tell them that the statement is true. Amarnat has returned to reign and unite his flock. We are picking up an active Vox exchange on encrypted frequencies between the Explorator ships. Incoming message. The Cognizance fleet praises the new Messiah. The mistakes will be corrected. The unbelief will be replaced with faith. Let the cycle be discontinued. Okay, well, that was certainly interesting. I might actually, yeah. Well, I think this is a good place to end the episode. We've found out a lot about the Adeptus Mechanicus, Amarnat, Pascal's role, and all that sort of stuff. So I think in the next episode we might check out what happens with the flotillas and maybe explore, well, check out if we've actually investigated Augur's anomaly. Can't speak at the moment, but yeah, so got a little bit to do in the next episode before we head over to talk to the Lord Inquisitor to see what he has to say for himself and what we found out about his actions. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.